Good morning, everybody on the line. I am Ashokan, Erode Branch Chairman speaking. I take immense pleasure and pride in welcoming you all to this program, which is basically a professional skills development, which is very much needed at the present situation. And it actually, our ICA had put on it in the appropriate time at bringing up these programs. Now I welcome Mr. Anuj Koyal, a chairman of a Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICA. Next, I welcome Madam Shripriya, who is the vice chairperson of the Professional Skills Development Committee. And actually, I take immense pleasure in welcoming CA Pranita Adikya, who is going to be the main speaker of today's session. I welcome you one and all. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Ashokan sir. My name is Shripriya Kumar. I'm the Vice Chairperson of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee. And on behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, I take great pleasure in extending a very, very warm and a very hearty welcome to all of you to this webcast today on social media presence for CA's Relevance and Safeguards. I'd like to place on record my sincerest appreciation to the event enablers for today, which is the Erode branch of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We have with us CA Ashokan sir, the chairman, CA Vijay Kumar sir, the secretary, CA Bhupati, the vice chairperson, CA Ramachandran, the SICASA chairman, and others from the branch who are part of this program. We also have with us Mr. Sambit Mishra, who is the secretary of the committee. Also take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to Parinita Adukia, who's actually almost a full-fledged, full-time soft skills trainer. So as you are all aware, we've created a new committee programs for chartered accountants. Today, I think there are two skills that you quite can't live without. One is your new age technological skills, and two is the other total soft skills, whether it's communication, whether it's branding, whether it's leadership, whether it's presentation, whether it's critical thinking, design thinking. Say, from a reading generation, we've now moved to a seeing generation. So it's become very important even for chartered accountants. We are very, very good in our work. It's not just enough for our work to be felt. I think we've come to a stage where we also need to be seen and heard, and hence the need for these new age skills. So what has the committee done? We've created a multiple mode of delivery. So we've created these weekly webcasts, which I'm very happy to let you know, we've got about 2,000 people attending every week. And we've crossed about 14,000 hours of training, I'm sure, along with this webcast here today. And we've been consistently doing it for the last 6 weeks. The second mode of delivery that we have done, which I would truly like all of you to attend, is we are having a soft skills development workshop 3 days a week by virtual mode. The charges are 100. It's with a guided faculty. It's a very small group. We are closing the group at 50 and about 40, 45 are able to attend. We take one topic, let's say negotiation strategies. We take another topic, making PowerPoint presentations. We do these short modules. I would kindly request all of you to please, look for these mails and attend these programs. That's the second mode of delivery. The third, we've got 10 modules already done. 8 are already done on public speaking, leadership, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, presentation, networking, etc. There are 3-hour modules. We are in the last phase of development. We'll be sending it to all the branches to run it at the branch level. You can take your own faculty. Only the program structure will be explained through a video, and your local HR professionals can help you to run these presentations. With these words of introduction, we have Bhupati sir who will be explaining the objective of this presentation. But for the first time, we have introduced this concept of event enablers for this committee and for a few other committees that the chairman and I run. Unfortunately, Chairman Shri Anuj Goyal, who's been doing sort of exemplary support for this committee, is traveling today and he's not able to join us. But what we are also kind of I'm also standing in for the chairman today. On the topic itself, on social media presence for CA's relevance and safeguards, I think that we're truly moving to a digital world, and India is leading the revolution. When the rest of the world was struggling to handle COVID, here we came with a COVID portal. India is credited with the JAM stack, the Janadan, the Aadhaar, and the mobile. No other country has a stack named after a country, and you have the India stack. And the one thing that's very different about India is that I think the government's pace of digitization. You had this app called Bashini that's coming in. I find that the government's pace of digitization has been far bigger than even the private sector in terms of what they come with. Whether it's the benefit transfers, whether it was the way COVID was getting handled. Today, when the elections are happening, I was truly impressed. My spouse logged in on the mobile and it said there are 20 people in the queue now. The time you will take is so much. So you get us a lot of hundreds of millions of Facebook users, hundreds of millions of internet users, hundreds of millions of Insta users in the country. I mean, and all the digital statistics are there to see, and India ranks very, very high in terms of mobile penetration. Consequent to all this, if all the stakeholders are going to be digital, then the chartered accountant needs to have a social media presence. Now we've got some restrictions in the code of ethics, do's, don'ts, etc. But I think in all of this, I'm going to say we need to sort of live up. It's okay. If there is a challenge and a restriction, we learn how to live with the restriction. But don't shy away from a social media presence, because just look at LinkedIn, for example. The amount of content that happens and the amount of visibility one can gain by posting content on LinkedIn is very high. It's in this situation of a highly digitized world with the likes of ChatGPT, everything happening, that I think there is a significant need for a social media presence. And what are the key social media elements that we have? We have Facebook, which is for the slightly older people like me. We have Instagram, that's for the completely young gen. You have Twitter, and you have LinkedIn. And these are the four primary platforms, I think, where all of us generally are. And it's over to Bhupati sir to explain the objective of this program. And another thing we've done is we've said it's not enough if we talk about communication, leadership, and all that for the rest of the fraternity. The committee felt we should start this at home, which is why for every event, we are having a set of event enablers from branches across the country who are sort of supporting these programs. And in that context, my sincerest gratitude to the Erode branch for having been here today. It's over to Bhupati sir now.
Good morning to all. Today's objective is.
I think you're on two devices. You need to
Yes,
switch
yes,
off
yes.
mute one, please.
One second. morning. Good morning to all.
Can you be a little louder?
Good morning to all. Today's objective is social media presence of CA and what are the difficulties and possible safeguard with without violating our ethics is our program. Because mostly we have in social media platform. So today's topic will enrich us to safeguard ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I take great pleasure in introducing Parinita Adukia. Just give me a minute. Ms. Parinita, CA Parinita Adukia is a very high energy individual who spent about 6 years in finance before branching out to seek newer opportunities. She also founded an entity called Portraiture to explore an area where she could make a difference. And that's largely in the space of development of social skills, including branding skills. She's done exceptionally well. She's a very regular faculty in many of ICAI's personality development and leadership programs. So it's over to Parinita Adukia for her session on social media presence for CA's relevance and safeguards. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sripriya ma'am. You've always been very kind with the introduction. And I would again like to thank the committee and ICI for, in fact, setting up this committee and taking up this initiative of pushing soft skills as one of the main skills that chartered accountants should now focus on. And it's like high time that we do that, and on a more structured manner. So the idea is not only promoting that the institute has been doing for quite some time, but the idea is to have a more structured way of imparting these skills and knowledge to our fellow chartered accountants. So on that note, thank you again, Sripriya ma'am. Thank you, Sambit sir, for coordinating everything so well. And thank you all the members who are present, who've taken the, like ma'am said, the event enablers, a nice concept. On that note, I'll just start sharing my screen. The idea of this session, like Sir said, that it's about enabling us and getting the idea of what social media is. For that, we all need to be very, very, present in the whole session. So there are a lot of things that we will be discussing. I'll be sharing ideas, but what our also concept is that keep doing whatever that I'm suggesting, whatever steps, actions that we are discussing. I want you to start doing it with me through the session. That's the whole idea and concept of the session for today, because just listening, because this is action oriented thing that you need to do. So just listening won't really help you. I suggest, be very, very present, be with me, and start doing all the actions that we are discussing. Okay. So on that note, let me share the screen. I hope my screen is visible, and we'll start with the session. So digital and ethical branding. I've consciously used this term ethical because this is something that is very, very important for us as a CA. And we'll be discussing all the steps that you can do when in respect of digital and social media presence as a CA, but on the ethical lines that is by the ICAI. Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So whatever that I'll be sharing today is out of more of my experience working with many CAs that we do help them with the branding. So it's more on the practical aspects, more on the experiences that we have had working with the chartered accountant that we will be sharing. Okay. So before we start, I really want to. So these questions are only for your retrospective. Just understand. Just think about these questions. What do you feel about these questions? So this will really give you a push, and there is a reason I'm asking you these questions. So what are your sales strategies as a CA? If I ask you, what are your sales strategies? How do you get leads? How do you approach clients? Do you have any strategy to up your sales? Keep thinking about the answers and keep thinking about how you feel when you listen to these questions. Okay. How many of you are digitally very active? Now, I'm not, so there is a word active, not present. Okay. Just creating a profile is not being active. I want to ask you how many of you are actually digitally active on any social media platform? Think about it. What are your digital marketing strategies? Do you have key, okay, I need to be on this platform, or no, this platform is not right for me. This kind of content I will be sharing. This is my strategy. Do you have these strategies in place? What is your marketing funnel? If you understand this term, how do you get the leads? How do you talk to them? How do you reach them? How do you convert those leads into clients? So this is called a marketing funnel. Do you have this in place? What are your goals as a chartered accountant? Whether you are practicing, whether you are in a industry, what are your goals as a CA? Are you networking really well? So we all CAs attend a lot of events, especially the ICAI events, right? Be it online or offline seminars that you're attending. But do you really network well there? Do you connect with them digitally once the event is over? Now, the reason I'm asking these questions, and this is why I want to focus why this session is very important. See, we all are, the way we have been trained, the way we have seen chartered accountancy as a profession, it's always been that we are, of course, we are service providers. When this term is on us, the main thing about us becomes that we need to give the best of service to our clients, right? We provide service. Now, when that thing happens, we are so focused on providing a quality service that we do not think on other aspects of our work, which is getting clients, marketing, business development, all these aspects about a business. Now, the thing is, we don't think our practice as a business, but we think about is as a professional service providing entity. So which is why all these concepts like sales, marketing, business development takes a backseat. Backseat bhi nahi, it's nowhere in the picture only. Okay. So, but this is the time that we really need to break those ideas, break those traditional method of practicing, or even if you're in an industry, the idea of being a CA needs to change a bit, because CAs are growing and they have to grow because of the growing economy of India. We need to grow and we have to have a better presence as a fraternity, as a community. We need to be more present out there. Okay. Not against anybody, but yes, we CAs need to build better content because we are worth that. Okay. So, which is why having a presence on social media has become a very, very important aspect, a very, very important answer to these questions that are asked. Say, because social media becomes one of the main aspects of your marketing strategy, your sales strategies, getting leads, networking well. All these aspects social media becomes one of the very important parts of these questions, okay, and these strategies. So, which is why we will be talking about social media today and its importance of why are we talking about social media today. So, this number I'm giving you 1 minute to think about this number, as in actually 5 seconds. So this is the approximate number of CAs that we have today in India. Okay. This number is number of people active on social media as on today. Can you imagine? 400 crore people are active on social media today, global number. These numbers are approximately 3 crore people in India who file returns are active on social media. Approximately 30 crore MSMEs, okay, are active on social media today, and approximately 13 lakh companies registered in India are active socially, social media wise. And can you see the number of practicing CAs in India? Approximately 150, between 150 to 2 lakh. Even if we count 2 lakh, just see the scope of reach that practicing CAs have. And when you compare that to the number of people present, number of target clients that are present on social media for us. And if we see globally, it's 4.3 billion. Imagine the numbers. So why aren't we, being socially active? Why aren't we taking this advantage of the ratio? 150,000 CAs who are practicing to so many people present on social media. Why aren't we being there? When I ask, what are your reservations when you're using social media? The general answers that you get, of course, you'll relate to this because this is like 90% of the times I get these answers. First is, I cannot do this. You think that, you're not capable enough because you might not have time, you might not have resource to do that. So you feel that, I cannot really do this point or, thing of being on social media, of being active digitally, right? Or you might think, okay, this is very tough for me. Matlab, I don't understand the concepts. I'm quite confused what to post, how to be active, what kind of people to connect with. So the whole concept becomes very tough for you. Or the very, very common one is the whole concept of social media or being digitally active is against ICI rules. The first two we will cover through the session. Okay. The last, it's against ICI notion. I want to break that now itself. So being present on social media is very well allowed. Of course, there are restrictions, like Shri Priya ma'am said. There are challenges, there are codes of ethics that we need to follow. But we cannot shy away from it. We cannot just give that as an excuse. Okay, because there are codes, I won't be there. It's just giving yourself an excuse of not being active or not challenging or pushing yourself to really be present on social media and take the best out of the opportunities that are available. So from today, we'll stop giving ourselves the excuses that we have been giving. Ki social media is not useful, social media doesn't work, or it's against the ICI regulation, so I won't be doing it. Takes a lot of time. All these are just excuses that we are giving ourselves as a CA. Let's stop doing that and let's start with the actions that are required. Now, to understand whether it's against ICI rules or not, or the ethics, let's simplify what it comes from. Okay. Now, one of the main clauses of the Code of Ethics is anything that is done to solicit client or professional work, either directly or indirectly, by circular, advertisement, personal communication, is against the Code of Ethics, right? Being practicing CA, especially this applies for practicing CA, not for the CAs who are in industry or have their business, but this is particularly for practicing CAs. If you are doing any sort of advertisement where you want to solicit client or professional work, it is against Code of Ethics. Very simple, right? But this stems from a very basic concept of marketing. Okay. To understand anything that you can do on social media, and in fact, this you can apply for your offline marketing activities also. To understand, you need to understand that there is a difference between what marketing means and what branding means. Branding is allowed, marketing is not allowed. Okay. And this stems from a basic concept of marketing, which is push marketing versus pull marketing. Let's understand this concept very well, because otherwise you won't be able to understand what can be done or what cannot be done on social media. Now, push marketing is very simple, where you advertise or where you push your content to your target audience. Okay. Say, for example, when you are putting a hoarding, okay, on a banner on the road about your services, that becomes a push marketing, because you are pushing about your service. You want to tell people about your service. Okay. So anything that is given to the target audience, any method which is applied, say for example, even when you are posting post on social media, you pay, right? Google advertisements, Google ad, when you pay for Google ads, these are all push marketing. Say for example, you send messages to people that this is my website, do go and visit. That is push marketing. Anything that you're pushing to the clients, ki see, that's not allowed. At the same time, there is something called pull marketing, which means people come to you organically through word of mouth, or they've read about you somewhere, or they've heard about you somewhere, or your name pops up somewhere. That's pull, where you are not putting in a lot of efforts, or you're not advertising yourself, but people are coming to you organically. That's pull marketing, and that's allowed. Why this is a very simple concept is that ICI wants to maintain the dignity or integrity of work, quality of work, that when a client is coming to you, it's not because of your tough advertisement, because then it boils down to how much money you have for advertisement. But clients should come to you through pull strategies, where they come to you for your quality of your service. So any step that leads to a pull marketing is allowed. Okay. And we'll discuss this in detail for you to understand more on this. But I hope you understand push marketing and pull marketing. Push is not allowed, pull is allowed. So anything that goes outbound is not allowed, inbound is allowed. Okay. On this note, let's move forward, and through each step, I will be discussing if it's push or pull and what is allowed and not allowed. Perfect. Great. So, this concept of, I think maximum CAs get clients through either by referral or by local, people, entrepreneur, businesses. Let's stop doing that. Let's break that glass ceiling of getting just clients by referral and start building a brand for ourselves. And let's start use of social media to market ourselves. One of the main reason for doing this, and this is a very recent data that ICI came up with, this is especially for practicing CAs. If you see the number of firms data, number of firms who are proprietary firms or partnership firms, and this is not written here, but I had this data I'd read somewhere else, that maximum partnership firms are also partnership firms which have less than 5 partners. Okay. Can you see the number? More than 80% of firms are small firms, where a chartered accountant becomes the limelight or the source of getting clients for the firm. It's not the firm's name, but the chartered accountant's name that is very important for the firm, right? Why this happens? As a service provider, people buy into you. They might not even remember your firm's name, but they'll definitely remember the CA's name, because they want to trust you as a CA. They want to trust you as a service provider. And even if you're in an industry or you have a business, again, People want to trust you as a person, as a professional. So, which is why building a brand becomes very important for a practicing CA, especially because people are buying into you. They won't come to you for your firm's name, but they will come to you for you, what kind of brand you have built for yourself. Okay. So let's start building a great personal brand on social media for you. Now, the biggest mistakes that we have seen is you're either not on the right platform or you are on all the platforms that are possible, or you're just there, as in you've just logged in, there is a profile created, and you're just there, but you're not using it that correctly. Okay, all these are the basic social media mistakes. Giving you a minute to think, what mistakes are you making? Okay, let's move forward. Now let's see how you can actually use social media to get clients and build a brand. Even if building clients is not your agenda, let's build a brand for you. Okay. Now, this is a very, very important concept. I really like this concept is whenever you start something, start with a why, as in, why are you doing this? For example, if I ask you today, even if you're being inspired a bit through the statistics or by the story or by the future prospects that so many people, so the 433 crore are only 50% or 60% of people present, right, on social media. So just see how many people are more left to come on social media. So the future opportunities, whatever the reason is, I need you to understand why do you want to be present on social media today, because that will help you determine your action plan. Okay. As of now, I want you to choose one reason that you want to be on social media. Whether you want to be known as a thought leader, or you want to gain clients out of social media, or you want to inspire or motivate people. You can choose any one of the why in the sense, what is your objective of being on social media? Now, let me put something out here. If you are a practicing CA, of course, one of the very important whys will be gaining clients, right? But just a suggestion, keep that as your secondary why, secondary objective or reason of being on social media. Because if gaining clients becomes your primary reason, you will find it a bit difficult on the ethical aspects. There'll be a bit blurry lines. But when you keep being a thought leader or, inspiring people or motivating people as your primary why, the content that you share, the steps that you take will be a bit better and more, your confusion on the ethical parts will be lesser. So my suggestion, either choose to be a thought leader as a primary reason for you to be, branding yourself as a thought leader or an expert in something on social media can be a why, or you just want to inspire or motivate your target audience, be it chartered accountants or be anybody. Okay, even on the personal note, it's okay. You're building a brand for yourself. Quickly choose one why. Now let's start with the steps. The first step is to be on the right platform. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is, you want to be on all the platforms. I want to be there on Instagram also, Facebook also. I want to be very active on Twitter also. And of course, LinkedIn is there. But very frankly, not everybody requires to be on all platforms, and especially when you're building a personal brand. Being on all platforms can be fine for a company or a big firm. But when you are focusing on building a personal brand for yourself as an individual, don't be on all the platforms. The trick over here is to be most effective, because of course time is money. So you need to be on the right platform that will get you the best return on investment. And here the investment is time and money, right? So choose the right platform for yourself. For that, you need to understand who your target audience is and then choose your right platform. So the first step I want you to do is check what is your client base. See what kind of clients do you have. Okay, say for example, you might be having startups as your clients, or you might be having large corporates as your clients, or you might be having MSMEs as your clients, or individuals or HNIs as your clients. Choose or see what kind of clients you have had. Okay, I know people will say, I have a mixed bag. That's okay. See what comprises of your 70 to 80% of your client base, or where do you get the 70 to 80% of revenue from? What kind of clients give you that revenue? That is your client base. That is your target audience. Okay, don't go on targeting everybody that you have. So first step, quickly write down who is your client base. See for that. Okay. Now, when you have startups or companies as your client base, understand these companies or startups or MSMEs are not your clients. The decision makers in those companies, say for startups, the decision maker is mainly the founder, right? For MSMEs, again, it's the proprietor or the owner of the company, or they might have a finance head or CFO who might take some decisions. For companies, it might be the chairman or the director or CFO who might take decisions for the company, especially when it's related to audit, taxation, all of these aspects, right? So see for the decision makers of the companies that you target as your clients. Those are your target audience and not the companies. Perfect. Second step is you need to see where are they present. Now let's take an example. Say if you are targeting startups, where the founders are, young, say where they are anywhere between 30 to 35 years of age. So your platform, the target platforms will be mainly Instagram or LinkedIn, because you won't find them on Facebook. You won't find them on Twitter also. So you need to see the target audience that you have in mind. Okay, which platform are they present? Not everybody is present everywhere. Say you have HNIs as your target audience. LinkedIn is one of the very best platforms to target professionals. Or if you know, 70%, more than 70% of top professionals in the companies are there on LinkedIn. The top management that you see, out of them, 70 to 80% of these top management people are active on LinkedIn. So if you have them as your target audience, LinkedIn is the best platform for them. Don't waste your time on all the platforms. Okay. The third thing that you need to see is the kind of content that works on the social media. Why I'm saying you this especially comes out of my own personal experience. Now, of course, we know chartered accountants are present on Instagram also. It's not that they're only on Facebook or LinkedIn. They are there on Instagram. But Instagram requires a lot of you sharing a lot of content like videos and reels and all of that. And I was not very, I didn't have time to create that kind of content of making reels or, doing such kind of videos. And that is where I understand that this platform is not comfortable for me. I won't grow that much on that platform like I've grown on LinkedIn. So you also need to understand if the platform that you want to be on, the kind of content that requires for you to be active, are you comfortable with that or not? That's a very important factor for you to analyze. Perfect. I hope everybody's written their client base, selected the target platform that your client base is active on. Okay, you can have one or two. I prefer not having a lot of platforms. 1 or 2 is good. Okay. And then select your platform. Hope everybody is done with this step. Great. Now, just what happens is when we talk about platforms, we usually have the first 4 platforms as a primary. Okay, when you talk social media, it's all about LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right? But there are different platforms that you can explore, the digital platforms that you can explore, which can get you a good, very good branding. The first 4 is, of course, social media platforms where you're socially connected to people. The second 2 examples, WhatsApp and Telegram, are more on the communication channels where you're communicating with people. Okay, that's the platform. Third type of platforms, YouTube, Quora, or Spotify. These mainly are called knowledge sharing, knowledge-based platforms where people usually share more of knowledge content, right? And of course, any other platforms like Clubhouse, or there are a lot of platforms available that people sometimes explore. So don't only think about the social media platforms for your branding. There are other options also which you can explore. And we'll also see what you can do in all of these platforms like separate. Okay? The next step, the first is you choose the right platforms for yourself. Okay. I hope you have chosen one out of the social media. And of course, WhatsApp, everybody's there on WhatsApp. Telegram might work for you. If you want to choose one from YouTube or podcast or Quora, anything that you have, you can choose from this also. Perfect. Let's move forward. The second step is building a brand as an expert. Now, what happens is, if you're branding yourself, just imagine, let's take an example of a doctor. Okay, if you say you got cold and fever and you go to a general physician, okay, he gives you some medicines, but then you're not okay, you don't feel okay, and then physician asks you to conduct some test. Whom will you go to? A radiologist, right? Now, once the tests are done, you find there's something wrong. Then the physician will guide you to an expert, be it a surgeon or a cardiologist or a orthopedic, anything can be wrong, right? So you go to an expert for the best treatment. In the same way, and if you see the kind of fees or professional fees that experts charge as a doctor is high than the general physician. Now, why that happens is because that expert can provide you the best treatment, the best knowledge, and you trust that expert because you know that expert is focusing on one thing. In the same way, if you brand yourself as a CA, expert in one of the fields, is where you can actually demand that kind of money and that kind of authority in an area. And that is something I really believe in, and you should also believe in. Say, for example, even if I take my example, I'm a personal branding coach. But when I call myself as an expert, or I've branded myself as an expert who helps chartered accountants as my audience, now that has helped me build a lot of trust and authority in this field. In the same way, start building yourself as a brand in a particular expertise. Be very, very focused. Okay. Now, I want to clear out something, especially when you're talking about branding yourself as an expert on social media. Now, when you say that, you cannot write on social media or your website or anywhere that I'm expert in, say, for example, you are a GST consultant, or your main work is GST litigation. You cannot write on social media that I'm an expert in GST. But the way you position yourself through the words that you're using, through the content that you are sharing, through the engagements that you're having, you slowly build yourself as an expert in a particular field. And that's also called being a thought leader or an expert in a particular field. And this is what I want you to do. Right now, if you still haven't, choose a field, a specialization for you that you would like to brand yourself as on the social media. I'm giving you 30 seconds for that. Okay. If possible, with the service, if you could have a very focused target audience also, nothing like it. Say, for example, you practice more into GST litigation for manufacturing companies. Okay, so that becomes a super niche. I hope everybody's done that. If you haven't, write this point down. This is very, very important for your branding. Next step is creating a best profile for yourself on social media. Remember, the trick of marketing is always to be remembered, to be easily understood, and to be easily reached out to. If people can't remember you, if people can't understand what you are as a professional, or what kind of content you are sharing as a professional, or they are not able to reach you, your marketing is bad, your branding is bad, and it will never work out. And all the time and money that you've invested on social media will go for a toss. It's really not worth the time and money that is spent. Okay. So we need to create a brand which is very easily remembered by people. Say, for example, when you create an image of being an expert in a particular field, you will be easily remembered. Say how many, you'll know like 10,000 CAs. But if I ask you, okay, give me a CA who's an expert as a value in valuation, I'm sure a couple of names will quickly pop up in your mind, right? Think about two. I have two in my mind. Think about CAs who you know in your circle who are very good with GST. 2-3 names came. But if I just ask you, give me CAs, you will be confused because you know so many. So when you're remembered easily is that when your marketing is done right. So when you become an expert, or you are known as an expert in something, you are easily remembered. Okay. And you're easily understood also, because the kind of conversations that you have will be diverted more towards that. How to be reached out easily is something that we'll discuss. Now, creating a profile. This example I've taken from LinkedIn, but the rules apply for all the platforms, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, be it Twitter. There are very basic rules that you need to understand when you're building a profile for yourself. Okay. Now, as per the ethics, creating a profile on social media platforms is very well allowed, because it's a pull marketing, which means people will come only on your profile when they search for you. When it becomes push is when you send your profile to everybody. This is my profile, look at it. This is my profile, look at it. Is when it becomes push marketing, which is not allowed. You can very well create a profile, and trust me, when you are creating a detailed good, when you use LinkedIn as a platform, well, it really becomes, the kind of details that you can give on LinkedIn profile is as good as giving details in your website. Okay, perfect. Now, few things that you need to understand very well. Have a good professional photo. Let's start with that. Remember, jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai. Okay, this is a Hindi dialogue, but yes, whatever's seen is remembered and is marketed well. Okay, have a good professional photos. Nowadays, with everybody having a good smartphone. It's not a difficult task. You go to office every day, right? Just find a plain white wall for yourself. One day, take some efforts, dress up well in your office attire, get yourself clicked. And if you notice, keep your profile picture focused on your face more, because that's how people will remember you. That okay, whenever you, if you're active and you're connected with people, next whenever they're meeting you, they'll remember, oh yes, I'm being connected with you. Or if you're finding somewhere some people on social media, it becomes very easy for people to search for you. Okay? So the first is have a good professional photo where your face is visible. Next is your name. Now, Institute had specifically come out with a circular where they had mentioned that CAs can use prefix CA on social media platforms. No issues on that, of course, but they have to take care of few things, which are you cannot solicit clients. You have to be very responsible in the kind of content that you're sharing, which means you cannot share derogatory post where you're trolling people or companies or other professionals. You cannot do that. You cannot comment bad things about people. You cannot write bad things about any professional or professional body or government. You need to be very, very careful about the kind of content, because when you write CA, you are also representing ICAI. So you have to be very careful about that. Once you do that, you can very well use CA on your social media platforms. Not a issue at all. The next thing is the headline. So the part where you see the portion below the name, the bio, the short bio that we call, it's available on Instagram also, even on Facebook. Everywhere you get this short bio, which you can use to, jo hum bolte hai, elevator pitch. It's exactly the same. It's a very short, brief introduction about yourself. Now here you can use keywords for your services. Say, for example, you are into GST litigation or appeals, or you are into, like we took the example of servicing manufacturing companies. So you can write over here that, you deal in GST litigation for manufacturing companies. You can do that because, again, like I said, it's a pull marketing, not a push marketing. But take care that you don't use words like expert or the best or top. These exaggerated words are not allowed. You can simply say that these are my services, but you cannot exaggerate being the top or being the best or being an expert. Okay. So don't use these terms. Otherwise, if you mention about giving services to manufacturing companies as a GST or GST litigation, you're very well allowed to. Okay. The next thing is, of course, the picture that you send, see the rectangular box that you see behind the picture. Again, this is available on all the platforms like your Instagram, Facebook, even WhatsApp business. This section is allowed, as in it's there. It's a visual way of showing your expertise. Again, you can mention your services there. Like I said, it's a pull marketing, not a push marketing. So you can create a good visual thing for your services. Okay, a very, very strong method of being remembered. Now, if you see, a quick question to everybody, again, you can answer to you for yourself. How many of you use WhatsApp business versus the normal WhatsApp? And if you're not using WhatsApp business till now, I really, really recommend you to switch to WhatsApp business today itself, because this gives a very good branding platform for you. It helps you develop a very detailed profile for yourself. So anybody who's even contacting you on WhatsApp can go and see your profile with all the information about you, your name, your links to your website or any other platforms, your services that you're providing, all the detailed information that you put on LinkedIn also can be put on WhatsApp Business. So first task today, very, very easy, but important. Switch to WhatsApp Business if you haven't yet. Okay. Now, if you can see, if you know, you can put links to various platforms that you are there on WhatsApp Business. Again, it's a pull marketing, not push. So you can put links to your website. If you record videos, educational videos, we'll talk more about that. But if you record educational videos on YouTube, you can put the link there. Platform like Linktree, again, we'll discuss this. Or you can put the link there. So as it's a pull marketing, you can put all these kind of links on your WhatsApp Business profile. Okay. And as you see, you can also the headline, which is giving your services, you can do that on WhatsApp Business. Next is giving a short description about yourself, a bio. Please be very, very detailed about the kind of services that you're providing, how does it help your client, what makes your services unique. But like I said, few things that you need to be very, very careful about, whether you're putting about section on your website or your social media or even WhatsApp, is you cannot talk about your clients. You cannot take the names of your clients. Say you can mention about the industries that you cater to. That's fine. But you cannot talk about you cannot take the names of the clients. Okay. Even if it's a listed company, you cannot. You cannot talk about, you cannot talk about your goals. Say what kind of goals you have or what kind of professional goals or vision that you have as a firm. You cannot talk about that. And also very important is something that I forgot. Okay. Yes, you cannot exaggerate, like we have discussed this before. You cannot say ki, why we are best from others. No, don't use these kind of exaggerated ways of promoting yourself. Don't use words like expert, top, or the best in the field, or we are amongst the top in the country. All these words are not allowed. Okay. Be very, very careful about this when you are talking about yourself in the bio. Perfect. Now, something that is very important and I would like to focus is whatever branding that you're building for yourself on platforms like LinkedIn, have the same kind of branding on WhatsApp, have the same kind of branding on Facebook. When I say branding, which means the way your photograph is, the way you have used the background picture, the way you have introduced yourself, let people remember you, because constantly when they see the same kind of picture, the same kind of words again and again for you, is when they start remembering. Why do we remember songs? Why do we remember jingle, right? Say for example, washing powder Nirma, because it's constant, it's consistent. They have been there and it revolves in our minds, right? In the same way, when your branding is consistent on all platforms, people start recalling you better. So have your branding consistent on all the platforms. Okay. The next step that we talk about is how do you show your expertise? And this is very important, a bit tricky, but very important step. Now, if you know LinkedIn, first, if you're not there on LinkedIn, I really prefer every CA to be on LinkedIn. It's a very, very important professional platform, not only for your target audience, but also to connect to your fellow chartered accountants and other fellow professionals. Okay. Now, when you use LinkedIn, there is a very important part of your profile, which is called featured. It is it's a box where you can put links to your blogs, to your YouTube channel, to your other platforms. It's a feature on your profile itself. It's a pull marketing. which means it's not a post. Okay, it is a part of your profile itself. Just like on website where you can give links to your social media platforms, in the same way on LinkedIn, you can give links to your other knowledge-based platforms or anything that you have done. Say, even if you've appeared for an interview, you can give the link because again, it's a pull marketing. It's not a push marketing. Perfect. Use this very, very smartly. It's a very important aspect of a LinkedIn profile that a lot of people miss, and it's ethic. Okay, say for example, you write a blog, right? That link to the blog can be in the featured part of the profile. In the same way, you can, of course, write about your blog on your website also. You can give the link to the blog on your WhatsApp link also, the WhatsApp business thing that we spoke about. Okay. Now, there is also a very important platform. Say you have a lot of platforms, you are there on YouTube also where you form videos. You have blogs or you write ebooks. You have different links that you need to give to people. Now there is a platform called Linktree. Linktree, if you see on the presentation, there you can combine all your links and say you even put your website's link or any other links that you need to provide to your clients. All the things you can put in single link and put this single link on your LinkedIn, on your website, on your WhatsApp. So people find all your links together. Again, this is a pull marketing in the sense if it's there on your website and people are taking initiative to click. Now you cannot send this Linktree link to people on messages or WhatsApp or any such thing, because then it will become a push market. Okay, but you can very well put this link on your WhatsApp, on your website, on your social media platform profile. So people then take the initiative to click the link. Then it becomes a pull marketing, and that's allowed. Perfect. Great. So the next step is, of course, you've created your profile, you've chosen the right platform, then you've created your profile. Now what you have to do is start posting. And this is something that I know a lot of people struggle with because they find it difficult or they find it time consuming or they find it, they are very confused as to what to post because of the ethics issue and also because of the lack of content they feel. Let's target these questions and let's see what posts can you make. The first thing is what all format of posts are there on social media. You can either upload a document, say any notification has come and you're uploading the PDF, then it becomes the document. Okay, you are uploading a document. You're uploading a photo either of yourself or of your friends or people you are meeting, anything. So a photograph or a video. Okay. Or of course, the written part of the content, which is the post. Now, let's see what and how can you create content. For that, the first thing you remember we had discussed what is your why. Do you want to become a thought leader or you want to gain clients or you want to inspire? I hope you had chosen that. Now let's simplify as to what kind of posts can you put to cater to your why. But there are few things that you have to be very, very careful about. The first thing is post that teaches people something. Okay. So for example, if you want to become a thought leader, say in GST. Now the kind of posts that are allowed, say you talk about any, say a recent GST amendment has come. So don't post about the amendment. Post, what is the next step that any person, first, who is affected by the amendment, what can they do out of this, how does it apply to them, and how can it change the way they are doing business, right? So steps to take, strategies to apply. Now, after this amendment, what can people do, or what can CAs do to simplify the life of the clients? These kind of posts are which teaches people about something, about say GST is your target. It teaches your clients, your people who are reading your post about a concept. It's allowed, be it technical like GST, or say, for example, you're talking about mental health. That's also fine. Like I said, it's branding. If it's not about your technical post, you can share non-technical post also, like mental health or productivity. All these parts are also allowed. Anything that teaches your client something will help you become a thought leader, because they will then look at you as an expert. But when you're doing this, remember, no, you cannot talk about your clients, you cannot talk about your services, that I provide this service and this is how I know. No, you cannot do that. Of course, it can be mentioned on your profile, that's fine, but you cannot talk about on the post, because when you're writing a post and publishing it on your profile, it becomes a push marketing. Profile, creating a profile is pull, writing a post is push. Hence, you have to be more careful on your post. Don't solicit clients, don't talk about your past clients or your current clients, don't talk about the services that you're providing. Other than this, you can talk about the knowledge-based concepts. Say your idea is to become an inspirational person. Say like, say for example, if you follow Anand Mahindra, his posts are very motivating, very inspiring, and he is also very opinionated. Or if you follow Sadhguru, he is very inspiring, right? So there are different brands that people have started building themselves, as. So if you want to build a base of people who are inspired by you, you can share about your life story, you can share about someone else's story that you're inspired by, or some inspirational entrepreneurs, their story. All this is fine. Again, no talking about your clients when you're sharing about your story, no talking about your past service or present service or future service that you are targeting. Except for all of this, you can share about your experiences, that's fine. Okay. And the last is, of course, you can share your thoughts, your ideas about opinions. Say, for example, you are using, very simple, you are using a digital app, right? Say, for example, you used UPI somewhere and you had a very amazing experience about it. You can share about that. Or you found some glitch and you think that this glitch should not be there. You're sharing an opinion. That's fine. Okay. Any observation, any opinions about your personal experience is allowed. Again, no mentioning about your clients or your services, then it's perfectly fine. Okay. So we have some time. Let's see some examples and you'll understand what kind of posts are fine. Okay. Say, for example, you're sharing some kind of hacks, hacks to maintain better accounts in the year 2024-25. 5 things that businessmen should look when they are maintaining their accounts. 5 softwares they can use. Anything that helps the clients, in their business. Again, when you're not talking about your past clients or present clients or whatever, it's fine. Even if it's in a video form. Now, let me tell you one very important thing. It's okay to create videos and publish it on YouTube or social media, but some things that you need to be very careful when you are creating these videos. One, you cannot talk about your services on the video. Second, again, like very important, you cannot talk about your clients. third very important and very this thing is you cannot talk about the firms. You cannot take your firm's name where you're practicing. Even if you're a sole proprietor, you cannot take your firm's name or write your firm's name on the video or your contact details. All these things, please avoid. Other than that, a knowledge-based video or a personal experience video is fine for you to publish. It's okay. Say you put out polls, okay, or something that you feel about or some opinions that you want from people, allowed. Same things, no service, no talking about your service, no talking about your clients or your goals or your aspirations. All those are not allowed. Other than that, anything regular, say for example, you want to understand the sentiment of people around the exams that are coming. Is it okay to have, the exam that is proposed 3 times? Okay, that's okay. That's something that is happening about ICAI. You're sharing your opinions or you're sharing your thoughts around it. It's okay, right? But say, for example, don't talk about elections. Who do you think will win the 2024 elections? Don't go into political, religious, sentimental, all these issues on social media, because remember, you are a CA, you are representing ICAI. So avoid these kind of posts or comments, or even if it's a comment on anybody else's post, avoid these topics. Political, political, religious, the sentimental, all these topics, avoid. Okay. Next is when you're sharing experience, say personal experience. Say you met a stranger, you had a very amazing conversation about Indian economy. It's okay, fine, share it. So experiences about your personal experiences or observations are allowed, which inspire people. That's okay. But again, take care that that conversation was not with a client or not with something very confidential is not revealed in the text. Okay, so be very, very careful about that. Few things that you need to be, you need to understand when you're posting is think from your target audience perspective. I've seen a lot of times that people say, but I share so much content, I'm sharing regular updates out to my people, but I'm not getting the kind of growth that I want, or people are not reading my post. Until that, people will read only your post if they find it valuable, right? They can either find it valuable if it's interesting, if it's adding value in business or their personal life or any which ways. Unless and until they find it interesting or valuable, they won't read your content. So think from a client's perspective, what they want to read. Share those kind of content. Okay. Now, the content that I just talked about were a bit technical content. And I understand that not everybody are comfortable or sharing so much or, creating these kind of content because of lack of resource or lack of time. So I'll share some very easy things that you can share on social media. Say you have a job opening in your firm, you can post about that. You festival, okay, you can talk about that. You have a new office that you've opened, you talk about that. Say you travel somewhere for personal or professional reason, you can talk about that. But when it's professional reason, you cannot take the client's name, you cannot mention the reason of travel, or you can talk about the experience about that place, that's fine. Say you are using a new software which you found very useful and you want to help other chartered accountants also, and you want to spread awareness about the software without you having any intention of earning out of the software, you can do that very well. You can talk about the software and the benefits of it. So these are very easy way of being active or updating people, again, visibility, start creating visibility from these short points on, social media or even WhatsApp. Start updating your WhatsApp status. Again, these WhatsApp status cannot be about your clients or your services, or even a hint of the client that you have. Say you are clicking a picture in front of your client's office. That's not allowed. Okay, that kind of updates are not allowed. Even if it's a WhatsApp status or Instagram story, not allowed. Okay. But of course, you can talk about your personal life or some movie that you've seen. Any sorts of these personal things are also fine. Right? Third is very easy for all the CAs is simplify the amendments that have come, which affects your target audience. Very easy for you to do that because you are the best who can do that, right? Simplifying how the amendments are affecting, what results will it create, what is the effect that it will create, and how useful or what are the things that the clients now need to take care of after the amendment. Very easy for CAs to do. And the last is, say you've read any blog which you really found interesting and knowledge based, or you've attended any webinar, say for like today, or you attended any seminar, or you've read some books of other people, you can talk about that on your social media. Very easy. CAs keep doing all of this, right? You keep attending webinars, seminars, keep reading interesting articles, or keep reading books. That's like normal life for every CA. Share about that. That's okay. Now, if you see, I've written of others, which means if you are giving any webinar, if you are giving any seminar, or you're writing any book, you cannot post about that. Why? Again, that becomes a bit of push marketing, a bit controversial for people, but yes, avoid doing this. Avoid writing about your own blogs or about your own books or about your own webinars or seminars that you can share. Say, for example, I have shared about Miss CAA, who is, who took a seminar which was very nice and I really liked it. That person can reshare it on their profile. That's fine. But they cannot write a post about it, okay? Because it becomes a marketing. I know it's a bit controversial, but please avoid this. And the last thing is, if you cannot write post at all, you really are not comfortable, or you don't have time, the last resort that I really want you to do at least this is start engaging with other people's post. Start commenting, have events on you really like. This will also help you a bit with the visibility. Okay, if you have this in place, targeted approach of commenting on right people's post on your target audience, valuable post, okay, not good post, well written, insightful, not these kind of comments, but actual conversations if you have on people's post. I personally know people who don't share a lot of posts, but because they are so active in commenting on other people's posts or sharing their thoughts on other people's posts, that they've created a brand for themselves through that only. So at least do this if you are not comfortable with posting. Next is target audience. Why? Because just being there on social media, share post, but if you don't have the right people who are reading your post, then it's not, all your efforts just goes down the drain, does not matter at all if you're not connected to the right people. So you have to make sure that you are connected to the right people. So the connections that you have on your social media are the target audience. So for example, even for me, when I know financial professionals, CAs are my target audience, more than 70% of my connections are CAs and financial professionals on my LinkedIn. That's the focus that you need to have, which is why the kind of post when I share, the conversion, the leads are much higher, because I know if I'm targeting 100 people, out of them 90 people are my target audience. And it should not be that 10,000 people are connected on your social media, but not even 1,000 people are your target audience, matlab your target clients or your potential clients. Then out of those 1,000, only 10 are reading your post. Does not make sense. So make sure when you are there on social media, you are connected to the right people, your target audience, whoever it may be. Okay. Few things that you can extra do is message people. Now, when you're messaging, make sure it's not about soliciting clients. So you cannot message your target clients or your potential clients that, hi, this is my service, or I provide this service. That's not allowed. Okay. You can, of course, very well message other professionals, other CAs on, to collaborate, or in fact, ask some professional questions. All those parts are allowed. Okay. You can contact a CA for some collaboration or some asking some doubts or something. That's allowed. You cannot message your target audience about your profile or your services. Please be very, very careful about that. Now, one thing that I want to cater to, a very important thing, I'd like to talk about two things, because this is something that I've been hearing, which is fair enough. First is, a lot of people have told me that, see, social media is a waste of time and it does not get you those benefits. And it's very time consuming in the sense there are no quick results. Okay. That I've been there on social media since 6 months, but nothing is happening. See, two things. Either you are not doing it right. And the second, branding does that. Okay, I post for a week or a month, and my branding should be the brands, be it Apple, be it Google. None of these brands, even ENY or PwC, all these big firms, nobody has built their brands over level. Even you will take time. So don't think social media as a means to get you quick viral branding. That might happen for some people for some reason, luck. But on a general note, it takes time for you to build a brand on social. Okay, so think long term. The second is, what happens is we have a very narrow view of social media, that when I'm there on social media, I need to target clients. I need to have clients. I need to get clients. Yes, as a practicing CA, of course, I understand that that is your target audience and that's your primary objective of being on social media, because you are investing your time and money. I understand. But what we also need to understand that social media is a platform to connect with not only your target audience, which is your potential clients, but for other means and purpose also, which is to build a good network, which is to collaborate with people, to find good connections, to find good network. And who are those networks? Not only about your clients, but also your collaborators, be it other professional CAs or CS, lawyers, all of these professionals with whom you can collaborate, with experts sharing opportunities. Say you find you are into GST litigation. You find somebody who is very good with the GST compliance part, and that person, that CA, focuses only on GST compliance. You can collaborate and you can share opportunities related to your expertise. So social media is not only about finding your clients, but also building a good network for yourself. Why do you think you attend the CA events? And this is a common observation that you get a lot of clients through other CAs or other professionals who refer your work to somebody else, to their clients or their network, right? A very common observation. In the same way, when you are present on social media, when you're active on social media, it is not about just the clients. Other CAs, other professionals will start noticing you and start referring you to other people. And that's how you collaborate with people. That's how you build a network for yourself, right? And also you build a community for yourself. Say there are a lot of groups on social media which focus on a particular expertise, or say the CA groups or GST groups or area based groups. A lot of groups that are there on different social media platforms where you can create a brand for yourself also. So it's not only about clients. I really want you to expand your horizon and see what all other benefits can you get out of social media other than getting clients, be it collaborating with other professionals, building a brand for yourself amongst fellow CAs, or being active in groups. A lot of things that you can do. Okay. So let's quickly discuss the steps that we had taken. The first is first choosing the right platform for yourself. Remember, I hope you've chosen that. Then selecting the target audience. What kind of people are you going to target on those platforms? Creating a good profile for yourself, a detailed profile on different platforms, but a consistent branding. The kind of profile you have on LinkedIn has to be similar to that on Facebook, on WhatsApp Business. Your profile, all the platforms, even your website will have the same kind of branding. Once that's done, start connecting to the right people, your target audience. Expand your target audience not only to your potential clients, but to other professionals, chartered accountants, community, all of these people. Start sharing good content. I gave you 3 ways of sharing the content. It can be technical content. It can be regular updating about what you are doing. It can be about, if nothing works, it also is about commenting on other people's posts, right? Remember, when you are doing this, you cannot have push marketing in the sense of talking about your clients, talking about your services, or soliciting clients in any which ways. You can share knowledge-based posts, you can share personal posts, but nothing that talks about your clients or your services. Okay. Have a good detailed links profile. When you're creating a profile, remember to put all the links in one place. Use platforms like Linktree. Okay. Once that's done, connect to the right people. Make sure that the connections that you have on social media are your target audience, and don't add just anybody just to increase your followers. Will really not give you the ROI you are looking for. Remember, expand your horizon, look for collaborations, look to build good network for yourself. Okay. Few things that you need to understand on the last thing is, it's good to have a website. If you can invest, do have a website. But if you cannot, build your social media profiles so strongly that you don't need a website. Okay. Google yourself. See, when somebody types your name on Google, what appears. It will give a very good, a fair view to you that are you really visible on Google when people are typing your name, what kind of things are coming about you. It will give you a true sense of what kind of branding you have in present and what do you want to build for yourself going forward. See if your contact details are given in your profile. Remember, you cannot post about that, but you can give it in your profile, on your websites. All of those are allowed. See if you're really adding value to people who are coming to your profile or reading your post. Okay. Now, one thing that I would want to talk about is this platform, which is even so ICI is also collaborated with this platform. This platform is started by a chartered accountant also. And this can be something, a very, very good branding strategy for you. Now, this platform is used for, when you have uh, calls with your clients or even internal meetings with your potential clients or even with your present clients. The way you use Zoom, the way you use Calendly, if you're aware about that, it's a combination of that. It gives a very good method to brand yourself, where you can talk about your services, where you can give the logo of your firm, where you can of course talk about your services that you're providing. What happens is, when you are talking to any potential client, again, this is a pull marketing, because this is kind of a Zoom link that you're giving to your client where you want to meet. So it's not face to face, you're meeting virtually, and you're just putting your firm's logo. So nothing wrong in that. It really helps in your branding. It shows that you are a professional and you have used methods to brand yourself. Okay. And this platform is again something that even the ICI has approved, and I think a mail was also shot to all the CAs for this. CAs have a special discount also for this platform. Find these kind of platforms where you can showcase your branding, which are pull methods, where you're not paying for the push methods or marketing. That's not allowed. Please remember that. Remember, when you talk about social media, when you talk about branding, it has to be consistent, it has to be smart, which means you are finding the right time, you're using the right method, you're there on the right platform, you're sharing the right content, you're using the right resources to do that, and you're creating a good visibility for yourself on social media platform. Trust me when I say this, because I've dealt with a lot of clients who are CAs. I know it's difficult. I know it's a bit tricky when it talks about ethical issues. There are, but it's high time we stop giving these excuses. It's high time that we are there on social media, because the opportunities are immense. It's really immense. You can gain so much out of the visibility that you can create for yourself on social media, and you can gain a lot out of this. You just need to spend a bit of amount of time to create that. If you're using the right methods, if you're being on the right platform, even if you spend half an hour every day with the right strategies, you will have a very good visibility on social media. Trust me. Okay. So I hope you've gotten the steps. You have done all these steps with me today. And I've written this book also. If you want, you can email me on this. So thank you so much for your time, for your patience, for listening to me. Sambit sir.
I'm T.N. Ramachandran speaking. Hello. Hello.
Sir, there is echo at your end.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Madam, good morning. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. I'm T.N. Ramachandran Chartered Accountant speaking, madam.
Yes, sir.
Very nice presentation we are able to hear from you. and we had a very good knowledge about social social media, how to go there. And very, very nice presentation. And thank you very much for. Then we will make use of the E-Road branch will make use of it, madam. And we will also spread our social media contact. How to we'll speak to our members and then we'll do it, madam.
Sure.
Nice of you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Vote of thanks by Vijay Kumar.
Thank you, Chairman. On behalf of our E-Road branch of SIRC of ICI and Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, I am honored to propose the vote of thanks. We are grateful to thank our Professional Skill Enrichment Committee Chairperson, CA Anuj Goyal sir, Vice Chairperson, CA K. Sri Priya Madam, Secretary Sir Sri Sambit Kumar Misra. Thank you, sir. And we thank our young and dynamic speaker, CA Panitra Anjuka, and all the participants of this webcast on social media for CA's relevance and safeguards. We thank our technical team for the success of this webcast. I once again thanks all the users. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam.